Hello, friends of Sudoku, and welcome to an País expert puzzle. Today is February 3rd, 2024. What do we have here? Well, we have a 2 blocking here and here. So here's a 2. And now we have a 1, 2 and a 1, 2 here blocking across. So 1 and 2 must go in 2 of these squares here. We also have a very suspiciously looking couple of 8s and 9s blocking. So we're going to have 8 and 9 in 2 of these 3 squares. The 8, of course, must go here or here. And that raises a question, if these can't be 8 or 9 and we have a whole lot of other digits already, can we isolate a single digit here? A 1 could go here, that's for sure, but not a 2, 3, 4, 5, not a 6, 7, not an 8, and not a 9. So yes, that was a very easy one.
That's an easy one.
We have a very easy 6 as well, because these 2 6s block here. Here's a 6. We have a couple of 9s blocking like so, and the third 9 blocks here. So here's a 9. And we have a 4 blocking down. One of these must be a 4. Can we do anything with that? Well, I just noticed that we have a 3 and a 4 blocking, and we have a 3 and a 4 blocking here. So 3 and 4 definitely must go in 2 of these 3 squares. And besides these 3 and the 4, we also need to find a 6 and a 7. I'm not sure I can do that right now, but it is worth keeping in mind. And while I'm talking about that, I see a couple of 2s blocking up, and there's 2 blocking over. So here's a 2. Another way we can see that a 3 must go here or here is that this 3 blocks across. This 3 blocks down, so one of these is a 3 blocking these squares. So 7, 8, 9 here. 8, 9. 7, 9. And speaking of 7s, we have a 7 blocking across, 7 blocking down, 7 blocking up. So here's a 7. 4 is now. Couple of 4s blocking this way over, and this 4 blocking here. So here's a 4. We need to find a 3 for row 4, and the 3 it can't go here and it can't go here, and the 3 blocks here. So here's a 3. Now a 1, 5, and a 6 for these squares. Can we do anything with that? I wonder. I don't think we can, not yet. But I'm seeing a 5 blocking up here, and a 5 blocking across here. One of these must be a 5. Therefore, we are going to have a 5 here or here. And we have 8s blocking these squares. And this 8 blocks here. So here's another easy 8. So let's have a look at these 2 squares. And let's also look at this square. This square cannot be an 8, and it cannot be a 4. So these 2 squares must be 8 and 4. Let's deal with the 8 first. This 8 that is going to go here blocks here. This 8 blocks here. This 8 blocks here. And this 8 blocks here. So here's an 8. And since these are 8s and 4s, it follows that this must be a 6. Now 3, 5, and an 8 for these squares. This 8 blocks here. This 8 blocks here. So here's an 8. 3 and 5. 5 blocks over. Here's a 3, and here's a 5. We need a 1, 4, and a 5 for these squares. There's a 4 and a 5 blocking here, so this must be a 1. Now we have a 1 and a 6 blocking here. So these 2 squares must be a 1 and a 6. And that means that this has got to be a 3. And since these are 1 and 6, by the way, we have an 8 blocking here. I just realized that these are 4 and 8, right? So this 8 forces the 4 to go here and the 8 here. That makes it very easy to figure out that this square up here has got to be a 4. And this, therefore, a 5. 5, 8, and 9 here. This 8 blocks here and here, therefore this must be an 8. Now we have 7, 9 blocking across here, and these must be a 5 and a 9. The 9 blocks here, so here's a 5, here's a 9. And these two must be a 2 and a 7, also easy. The 7 blocks here, so here's a 2 and here's a 7. Across here now, 1, 3, and a 4. That must wait. 1, 2, and a 6 here. 6 and 2 block, here's a 1. 2 and 6 here now, they must also wait. We have 1 and 6 here, and 1, 6, 5 here. 6 blocks down though. No, I can't call that yet. Must wait. 5, 7, 9 here. We know this is a 7, 9. This is a 5, 9. This is a 7, 5. Because 5s can go here and they can go here. We do have a 7, 9 here and a 7, 9 here. So a 7 and a 9 must go in two of these 3 squares. This square is rather restricted. It can be a 1 and it can be a 3. But I can't really seem to find a good use for that information. I do see that we did have a 7, 9 here and here, of course. But let's have a look at this 7, 9. And now let's look at this square. It is restricted because it cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So these 2 squares have to be a 7 and a 9 remote pair. I'm not sure I can use it for anything though. But we also have 7 and 9s in 2 of these 3 squares. So maybe something will turn up that I can use. We have a similar pair, but not 7 and 9s, of course, in the 9th column. We need a 1, 3, and 4 here. The 3 forces these candidates to be a 1 and a 4. We have the same kind of restrictions in this square. The same digits are blocking here. So let's have a look at this square. It can be a 1, but not a 2, 3. It could be a 4, but not a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. So we have a remote 1, 4 pair here. And that means that a 5 and a 6 must go in these 2 squares. And here is something interesting. Because if this is a 5 or a 6, it follows that it can't be a 1. Agreed? Now we have this 1 blocking here. So it's clear that one of these must be a 1. Therefore, this can't be a 1. It also can't be a 4. So it must be a 3. Now 1 and 4 here, here, and here. Not here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves with unique rectangles this early in the game. This 3, however, does have ramifications for this square.
Good ramifications?
Because this square is limited now to being a 9. It looks very empty and very lonely, but it must be a 9. And here is why. It's because it cannot be a 2, and it cannot be a 1, and it cannot be a 3, and it cannot be a 4. It cannot be a 5. And you know why it can't be a 5? Well, look at this square. This square is covered by this 5. So it's clear that one of these 2 squares must be a 5. Therefore, this can't be a 5. It also cannot be a 6, nor can it be a 7 or an 8. So it must be a 9. We now have a 9 blocking across here and down here, giving me a 9 for this square. Now we can resolve the 9 and the 7 we had going on up here. This 7 blocks across, so now we know that these 3 squares must be a 3, 4, and a 7, and therefore this cannot be a 7, cannot be a 3, it cannot be a 4, it has got to be a 6. These were 1 and 6. The 6 now blocks over, giving me a 1 here and a 6 here. 6 blocks over and it down. Here's a 6. 2 6s block down. This 6 blocks across. Here's a 6. 6 blocks across, 6 blocks across, and down, 6 here. These were 3, 4, and 7, therefore this has got to be a 5. Which blocks up? This 5 blocks over, 5 must go here. This last square has got to be a 2, and therefore this must be a 7.
It's the only logical path.
Agree.
Now we have this 2 blocking across here, so here's a 2. And here a 1 and a 5. We know that from earlier that one of these had to be a 1, so we don't have to calculate that any further. We know now that this must be the 1 and this must be the 5. Which blocks it down? This 5 blocks down, this 5 blocks over. We have a 5 here. We know that a 7 and 9 had to go in 2 of these squares here, so here's a 7. That gives us a 7 here and a 3, 4 here. We can resolve those. The 3 blocks over, therefore the 4 goes here and the 3 here. We have a 4 blocking across here and 4 blocking here. Here's a 4. This square has got to be a 3. And now a 1, 2, and a 4 for the remaining squares. The 2 blocks down, so here's a 2, here's a 1. Now we have a 1 here and we have a 4 here. Nice puzzle today, again from País. I hope you liked it and that you'll come back for more soon. Thank you for watching and bye for now.